recording this today for the Heart of the Matter Homeschool Conference. I'm a scrapbooker as well as a homeschooler, and I love to talk about both. Over a short series of video clips, I'm going to talk to you about how I incorporate scrapbooking into our homeschooling life and use it to document all of our homeschooling experiences. Now, I'm going to assume that most of you are not already scrapbookers yet. Okay, let me just tell you, don't freak out, don't get nervous. We're going to go over the hardest thing about scrapbooking right up front. Are you ready? You can't document everything. That's probably worth repeating again. You can't document everything. But I know what you want to say, but you can't. For some people that may take a big... But once you move past the idea of documenting everything, scrapbooking can be a really fun and relaxing way to document some of the big events of your homeschooling life. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to keep it so simple, we don't even have any scrapbooking supplies right here. I want to show you the variety of ways that I document our homeschooling and kind of artistic life around our house first. You may be thinking, well, that doesn't really sound like scrapbooking, but it's kind of like scrapbooking on your walls. By hanging up your kids' art and projects, it's a great way to validate them and the work that they've put into it. But it's also a really inexpensive way to decorate your house. Let me show you around. These are some display shelves we have in our craft room. You don't have to have a craft room. You just have to have a wall. These shelves change all the time. The kids are constantly adding and taking away, and they really like being able to reach and touch the things that they've made. So we have everything from science projects, projects they made at birthday parties. This, I think, had to do with science and the Earth's crust, all the way down to unfinished leaning popsicle stick log cabins. This is a great place that the kids love to keep all the different little things that they make. Some related to school, some not. When you're hanging things on the wall, think vertical as well as horizontal. My line of sight is much lower than this picture right here. Now, it's probably a lot lower than a lot of other people's line of sight as well. This was a kindergarten project that my kids did to help them remember the sound that comes with each letter. We were also moving into a new house, so I knew that we had lots of wall space to cover. And so we could have done this on paper, but I decided to put it on canvas so we'd have something to hang on our wall. This is a dark little hallway in our house. Not a lot of people see it, but I see it. And in it I have 3 shadow boxes. 2 that just have scrapbook pages that I've made recently, and another one that has memorabilia from our Washington, D.C. trip, the first one we ever took. And you know, as a homeschool family, you gotta have the Washington, D.C. trip. It's just different memorabilia from our trip up the East Coast to D.C. and Boston and Vermont. It probably eventually will go on a scrapbook page in a photo album, but for right now, this is where it lives. And I kind of enjoy getting to see it as I walk by. I am surrounded by 3 little boys and a husband. If they're going to constantly draw pictures of ogres, I'm going to put them in pretty frames. This came from, I believe, a creative writing exercise that my oldest son, David, did. As you can see, it's on a torn little piece of legal paper, but I actually kind of thought it was adorable. So this sits in our bedroom. You can tell I like display shelves a lot. This is in our dining room. This is an area that people see a lot. It's a great way for me to put out photographs that I really like of our family, as well as changing artwork. Sometimes we even change it for the seasons. This is another little hallway that we have. My middle son loves the American flag. We were talking about American history. His dad's birthday was coming up, and we had another blank wall in our house. 4 birds, 1 stone. This is at the top of our stairs. A great way to preserve pictures that the kids have done in pastels is to spray them and put them in a frame. Don't forget about your bookshelves. On our bookshelves right here we have a lot of books, but we also have kids' artwork, kids' projects. I believe that's a 4-year-old's handprint up there. Our classics, and as well as a great place to display a lot of our snow globes from our family's travels. Hallways outside of bedrooms are often overlooked areas, but they're great for displaying a gallery of your kids' artwork. It's good for a couple reasons. 1, your kids walk past it every day and get to see their own artwork. Two, there's usually not a lot of direct sunlight because direct sunlight, as you probably know, does not combine with construction paper very well. In fact, if construction paper is in direct sunlight for very long, it will start to fade. These are all frames that I collected over a long period of time at Linens and Things and Michael's and other inexpensive stores like that. You see this little guy right here? He's seen better days. He's been hanging up for a couple years now. One of Alex's favorite pieces of artwork is actually hanging in his room. I'm starting to see a theme of what he likes to make. In each of my kids' rooms, they have a desk. And there's one drawer in the desk that's dedicated to holding their artwork. When that drawer gets full, they have to decide what they want to keep and what they want to get rid of. And quite often, they're a lot more ruthless about getting rid of things than I am. There have been plenty of times that I've gone and saved things from the trash that they've thrown away. I learned this from my mom. When I was little, I didn't have a lot of drawer space, but one of the drawers in my dresser was a place I could keep all of my artwork. And when it got too full, I had to decide what I wanted to keep. These are slightly fancier frames, and they are in the foyer of our house. These are projects the kids did as they were learning about different artists and their techniques that they used in creating their artwork. And would you believe that these other two frames are pictures of my parents that I liked so much that we framed twice? Yeah, no, these are actually the pictures that came in the frames. I just haven't gotten around to putting new pictures in them yet once they were hung up. And I'm sure when our school year starts, I will have ample opportunity to pick out things to put in here. And yes, my friends have already teased me quite a bit about having these already hanging on the wall. These boxes right here are inconveniently up high, but that's okay because I don't put a lot of stuff in them. Maybe 4 pieces of artwork a year. My kids' most favorite things that they make, that they want me to save, I put in these. Like I said, maybe 4 or 5 things a year. I don't try to cram everything they do into these boxes, so that's why it's okay that they're up high. Okay, I hope maybe you got a few ideas from me showing you around at our house. Wow, I didn't even realize I had so much of my kids' artwork up until we started walking around and filming it all. And some of those shots were kind of tight because things weren't quite as clean and as dusted as I thought that they were. Okay, hopefully you're in the mindset now for displaying and keeping your kids' artwork and homeschool memorabilia. In the next video clip, I'm going to show you a way to keep that very simply in a notebook, scrapbook type style. I hope you enjoy it.